see how this works. Let's see if Revit can handle this. Kind of awkward in the office just talking by myself. All right. Okay, so I set this up. I guess let me just back up and show you what I did. I'll hide this real quick. Okay, so to start a project from new, you would go to not responding. Okay. Maybe this will take too long with Zoom recording. We'll find out. Okay, you go to project new, and then we're doing a project, and then it asks you for a template file. These are the ones that come out of the box. We want to use the ones that have been created for the office. So we're going to go to Evolve Server 100, references Revit, and then Evolve EA Revit template. And then this is going to be template files underscore RTE, which is short for Revit template file. And then I have one for the site. We don't want that one. We want one for the building. And then I would hit OK, but I've already done that. Well, I guess I can hit OK. And then it loads it in here, and then you hit OK here, and that would load the template into a new file, which is basically, it will show you this as the top of first floor. Not top of plate, but top of floor, first floor. Maybe those need to be renamed. And then to get the CAD in there, these are the only two things I've done. I go to insert, import CAD. And let's go to Chatamico Village 2D. I grabbed this kind of plans, and automatically you'll, I think, have auto origin to internal origin. And what you want to do, at least I find it easier to have center. That puts the center of the CAD drawing to the center of your view. And also it will say preserve all of your colors. That's personally distracting, especially if there's like cyan and things. So I go to black and white just so it's easy to see what's going on. And then I hit open, and what it will show, is this. And I've moved it so the corner of this triplex are on these two grids. So I guess this does start a question of where do we want exactly our grids to fall? Do we want them to be the very exterior of the building, or do we want them to be on the exterior framing? You mentioned this wall, these exterior walls are like compound framing. So here I already see two walls. Maybe the outside is, I'm just gonna take that measurement. Are you? Maybe not. Maybe I can do, oh, here we go. I can do a detail line. That is 1 foot, 2 inches. That's a beefy wall. I don't know what that is. Anyway, where do we want our grids to land? I think typically they're supposed to be where foundation lines are going to be. So is that going to be really far in the exterior, or there are walls outboard of this? So those may need to get adjusted. But so first things first, just trying to set up essentially the information inside of this file is I would start moving grids around so they're set up properly in order to snap building stuff to them. So I'm copying this grid just over here, and then I'll move it more carefully right to that line. I guess since this is a demising wall, maybe you want it in the center. Again, these are sort of the more nuanced questions I don't know the answers to, but it is pretty easy to change once you have started it. So after I place these grids, in a couple of days we can move them and it won't be the end of the world. Again, I copied it. I'm going to move it for more dexterity. I'm going to copy up here, which I should have done, and you could just place a bunch. So this one's going to be on the outboard side. Okay, and now I'm going to label this C, D, E, F, G. There's a little bit of lag on this computer, but not too bad. It's not terrible when I'm recording. Okay, same thing here. I'm going to place to the outside. And what other lines are continuous through this building? I guess that's another question is, do you want structural lines that are continuous all the way through, or would I drop a grid to here, even though it's not taking up anything in these other two units? It's just that wall. I don't know. That is something that's going to be, I guess we're going to figure out right now. I'm just going to delete that one. So we have 1 and 2, which should just be exterior grids for the north and south. 32 feet 8 inches. That's not too bad. For dimensions between grids. Okay, so we have a grid set up. Next, I'm going to go to levels. And I'm just looking at this CAD file to see where are the elevations. Okay, shit. What building is this? 2-bedroom, dusky wing. Checker spot, skipper. Okay, well, maybe we should label these for this overall building type, because I don't know exactly what elevation I'm supposed to be referencing, and these don't have labels on them. Is this going to be split floor like these guys? I don't think so. All right, now I'm getting a little bit confused. How to set up the levels. Are there more elevations down here? No. I can't tell if all of these sections that have elevation that have levels in them are. This can't all be one unit type unless it's multiple sections pulled through one unit, which it probably is. I'm just rambling. I don't think this is the building I want, so I'm a little bit unclear with levels, but okay. Let me go back here. Okay, so that's 10 feet from top of floor to top of floor. 10 feet. Okay, that's what I'm going to assume is 10 feet from top of floor. 1'6" 4-pack. Okay. Don't really know what kind of levels are up there, but so for best modeling practices, I think an excess of levels is helpful. So let me double click on that elevation record to get these views. So we don't necessarily need a basement level here. So I'm going to keep that for top of footer or something, but the first floor we're at 0. Second floor, I'm going to rename this to top of plate, and it was actually what I'm going to do. I'm just going to copy this up and top of plate, and that was 10 feet. guess I need to change these elevation tags so they don't drop down to the second line. Top of parapet, I'm going to delete that. Yeah, that's fine. Top of roof, I'm going to keep that. Top of third floor, I'm going to delete that. Yes, one view is going to be deleted, I know. So we sort of have levels set up. These, sometimes you'll have top of, this will be top of subfloor at second level, then you could have another level which would be top of finished floor. That would be the kind of level of detail you want for like wall sections. So we can add those levels later. That I think depends on what you want to do, Chris. All right, so we have levels set up roughly, more or less. And now we're back on first floor. I'm going to clear that. It's the site model. And actually, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to turn this into a central model, and I'll run through the process. There's going to be a lot of waiting for that to happen because that takes a while, and I'm assuming with Zoom running, that will take a bit longer with that too. So we'll see. So setting up for work sharing, which I'm going to do right now, this allows for multiple people to be collaborating on the file at once. So I go to the Collaborate tab, and I hit Collaborate. And this window is going to pop up in a second that says you are enabling collaboration. And yes, you want to keep this checked within your network. You don't want to do this BIM 360 document management. That is something I'm unaware of, and I think it's for much larger projects with multiple different consultants working together, like for MEP and structural and stuff. So I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to sync for a while. So this way, multiple people can be working on the same file. You could be in your respective houses or in the office, as long as you're hooked up to the same Evolve server. We can all be working in the same files together. The more you get used to this, there is sort of a song and dance you have to figure out so you don't step on each other's toes. Like one person's working on the first level, one person's working on the second level. Otherwise, sometimes you do run into issues where you're both trying to work on the same area, and ownership of elements becomes an issue, which we may run into. But that, I think that's, every single office has that problem. So you just have to communicate with whoever's working on the model with you to stay in your respective zones. Like somebody's working on elevations and somebody's working on details. So you can see the progress bar. Luckily, you only need to do this once every while. Each time you set up a central model, it might take a couple minutes, but after you set this up, it doesn't need to be done until you make an archive model of this every single couple weeks or something. In a minute, maybe, or maybe later, I can show you how to link a building file into a site file, how to automate those contours, and then how to share the location of the site file to the building file. So it's all linked into each other, which makes site plans, after all that linking process is complete, it makes site plans really easy to work with. Okay, so now that we have hit the collaborate button, next thing we're going to do is hit save, and this window is going to pop up, and it says this is the first time that blah blah blah. Basically, you hit save, and this will become the central model. You hit yes, so it's going to take another minute or two to save this. Not as long as creating a central, but it'll take a minute or two. taking longer with Zoom running. I set up a central file for the Hamilton project, and that went over pretty quickly for this process. I guess when you're doing this, not screen sharing and recording, it should be much quicker than this process. I guess what I'm realizing right now is these two units on the outside are 2 stories because they have stairs, and this one is 1 story because there's no stair in it.